everyone, welcome back, healers. The holistic coach here, reporting back for live duty. Alrighty, so don't judge me, but this YouTube thing was a lot harder than I thought, and that is the tea. Being in front of the camera and talking was really nerve-wracking, and I literally could just not do it. So for the first couple of videos, this is what you get, a voiceover of me talking about the weekly challenge, with examples of pictures of the information we're talking about, or maybe some random little footage thrown in to keep you engaged and entertained, of course. I want healthy to be fun for us, or at least for us to have that association anyway. These will be more of a podcast style content, so if you wanted to just listen to the information like you would an audiobook, you can do that as well. So this week's challenge is postural awareness, from sitting in your car hunched over to standing lopsided because you're carrying your purse on the same side every single day and everything in between. Our goal for this week is to really just be in tune with what we're doing with our bodies when we sleep, stand, walk, and even how you walk your dog, or if your dog walks you. So I want you to ask yourself, am I hunching over right now? Is my neck bothering me? Does my lower back bother me? How do I load the dishwasher? How am I picking up stuff from the floor? These are the burning questions that I want us to ask ourselves daily. So sit back, take a seat, grab yourself some tea or water, and go ahead and take notes, whether they're mental or on paper. Also, please don't be shy. Subscribe, like the video, and share it. So, editing this video with my newborn editorial skills was really hard, and I had to completely scrap the video. So you actually will get this rest of the video of me just getting over my fear of talking to the camera, because the editing is a lot harder than just sitting down and talking about it. It's not like some kind of Harvard presentation, so just be aware that it's a YouTube video about me talking about health tips. So, like we were talking about, again, postural awareness. I am reading off of bullet points that I wrote to help me kind of just move along. So did you know that posture can affect your breathing, make your tight muscles worse or better, depending obviously on how your posture is, and even also affect your confidence? So the main tip that I want us to be aware of is trying to have a neutral spine as much as possible. I'm inserting a clip right here of the image. So make sure you always just try to keep your chin up, your chest out, and your shoulders back and down. So, we can practice that right now by straightening up. If you are hunched over, you again want to make sure that you bring your chin up, your chest out, and your shoulders back and down. I would tell my personal training clients this every single session until it was ingrained in their consciousness. So if you're constantly hunching over from sitting, or if you just naturally tend to stand with your shoulders rounded, just be aware of that, and be aware that things like this can cause issues. So if you're constantly hunched over from sitting, or you tend to just stand with your shoulders rounded, this can compress your the muscles that aid in respiration. So like your sternocleidomastoid, which is right here, your pectoral muscles. When you're constantly crunched like this, these muscles get tightened, and it can restrict your breathing. So again, just pull your shoulders back, keep them away from your ears, don't wear them like earrings. If you're a side sleeper, make sure that when you're sleeping on your side, you have that pillow supporting your neck and shoulder, and make sure that your wrist doesn't look like this. A lot of the times when people sleep on their side, they end up developing either shoulder impingements or wrist pain, because you're just crushing that wrist or that shoulder for hours. So try to just be aware of, you know, do I wake up with my shoulder feeling funny? And that would also imply the back of your shoulder. You know, the whole shoulder blade can get compressed if you sleep on that same side. So the idea is really to just try to alternate the sides that you sleep on and make sure that your pillow is supporting your shoulder and your head properly. And I'm inserting clips of those here as well. If you walk your dog, or if your dog walks you instead of the other way around, this can also put a strain on your back, or at least add on to all the other little things, and all the little things do add up over time. This is mainly people with big dogs, because you know, if they pull you, then they're pulling you forward like this, and again, that can put some strain into your back. So you want to make sure that you push your heels back like you're about to sit on a toilet. So dig your heels, push your butt back, and this will take the load off of your lower back and transfer it into those bigger muscles, being your glutes, also known as your butt. The same thing when you're like picking up an item from the floor, or you're loading a dishwasher. Avoid bending from your back, but instead try to make sure that you're pushing your hips back and down into that squat position when you're leaning over to pick something up or tie your shoes. So again, if you're sitting in your desk or you're in your car for hours, try to have the setting in your car with as much support for your lower back as possible. For me, I know this is still not enough, so I will try to have like a little pillow to support my lumbar area, and that helps a lot of people. That creates space in your vertebra, and that will kind of help with that back pain. You can also order a lumbar support off of Amazon, and I know this has helped clients that spend a lot of hours driving. I'll insert like a little image here of a lumbar support that they put in their car. If you don't want to use a pillow, these are specifically made to help create a better cushion for your spine. So when you're jogging too on paths, you know, sometimes if you're going up or down a hill, that's not a problem. But if you're traveling sideways on the hill and you can visibly tell that when you're walking, you're like slanted, so one hip is obviously higher than the other, this is not, you know, an ideal situation. And if you're taking that same path every single time and not returning the same way to at least balance your hips, then this could create issues with your ankles and then travel up to your hip. So always try to make sure that you can find either a track or even terrain to do your walks or jogs on. Again, if you're going up or downhill, that's not really a problem. Just make sure you engage your core and you're using your digging your heels down using your hamstrings. It's more of an issue if you're walking lopsided across the hill. So in general, you kind of start to just see a pattern that we're constantly trying to find balance within our movements and our body. Our teachers would tell us all the time that motion is lotion, and also in general, like what you do to one side, you want to do to the other to make sure that you're promoting that balance within your body. So like if, for example, you have this workout routine where you're like doing 100 push-ups every day, but you're not doing any type of mid-back row or scapular retractions. So pulling, this will create an imbalance because one, you're already spending tons of time at a computer, eating, in your car, and now you go to the gym and you do push-ups. Like all you're doing is making this tighter and tighter and tighter. So that's not balanced. You need to make sure you're doing back exercises to again pull everything backwards. And this is going to help with a lot of pain. A lot of people tend to do the wrong exercises and then they end up making things worse. So next week I'm gonna get into stretches and exercises to help balance your body if you spend a lot of time sitting or hunched over, and keep the aches and pains at bay from poor body mechanics. But to start off, just make sure you're again pulling your shoulders back, keeping your chin up, your chest out. Again, leave a comment down below and let us know what you are going to be working on for this week's challenge. Even if you didn't do anything to change your posture this week, just being more mindful of how I'm sitting, how am I standing, how am I walking. All these things can really help you feel a lot better without even realizing it. And so I just wanted to remind you guys to leave a comment down below on what you're going to be working on this week to improve your posture. Please share this video if you found it useful. Give it a thumbs up. And obviously subscribe so you can be part of this community of accountability and healing. Thanks, guys. Bye.